Come on in, young'un. I've been expecting you. Would you come on in here and find you a stump? I've got a yarn to spin you. You know, way back deep in these hills, where them trees shadow stretch long, and the nights are blacker than a moonless sky, there's a tale that'll chill you to your bones. This here ain't no tale for the weak-hearted. Now back when coal was life, and folks worked the mines to keep food on their tables, there was this one miner, and he was as sturdy as mountain stone, a true child of the hills. But one day, a dreadful accident happened down at the mine. A terrible cave-in, and it took a many a good men with it. And this miner was among them. But the mountain, he had a different fate in mind. It wasn't his time to join the silent majority. Now he come back, but boy, he wasn't the same. When they found the body, the head was chopped clean off. And so he carried it around in his hands, wandering aimlessly through the woods. I've heard people say it's the guilt of surviving that keeps him from laying down to go to rest. But others say it's this old mountain herself, refusing to let go of one of her own. You know, them folks started spotting him. They'd see him, head in his hands, wandering across a moonlit field, and then he would vanish into the thick, dark woods. And I reckon his eyes, they glow like a red-hot coals, a tragically mournful sight. And his voice, I reckon it echoed, a haunting wail that sounded like a winter gale whistling through the hollers. Then after that, folks took to disappearing. One by one they vanished, without any trace. And it was said that on the night of each disappearance, his mournful cry could be heard. And they say if you hear that cry, you're next. Now word of the Headless Man spread, causing folks to bolt their doors and keep their young'uns close. But that didn't stop the vanishings. The molehill steeped in fear, and each moonlit night was filled with the hunting cries of that Headless Man. But one brisk October night, this old preacher man come to town, and he had heard tell about the Headless Man. And he took it on himself to confront the ghost. So he ventured into them moonlit woods, Bible in one hand, a silver cross in the other. And he climbed the highest peak, and he waited for that Headless Man to show. Now when the moon was at its highest, that Headless Man emerged, his eyes aflame like the dying embers. And that old preacher man held up his Bible and his cross, a praying with all the strength he could muster. And that headless man let out a wail that echoed through the holler. But that old preacher man didn't flinch. He prayed until the first light of dawn broke through the woods. Now, when folks found that old preacher man, he was laying at the base of the mountain, and his body was as cold as a mountain spring. But he wore a peaceful smile on his face. And from that day on, the headless man wasn't ever seen again, and the disappearances stopped. But on those cold moonlit nights in the hills, when the wind howls through the hollers, you can still hear that mournful wail. Some say it's just the wind, while others believe it's that headless man, forever wandering these hills.